As your assemblies get larger, it becomes more difficult to select a particular item, so Inventor uses filters to help you select what you want. When you click on the selection filter icon, the list has 18 filters and controls. It looks pretty complicated at first glance, but there are just 4 groups: select a type of item, options, changing selection sets, and selecting multiple components. The top group of filters go into more detail as you move down the list: components, parts, features, faces and edges, and sketches. Component is the default filter because you are generally working with components when you are at the top level, but the other filters are helpful when you want to dig down into a large assembly. For example, large assemblies usually have several levels of sub-assemblies, so it can be hard to find a part in the browser. I'll set the filter to Part. Pick the part in the graphics window, and then select Find in Browser from the context menu. The browser automatically expands to show the part. The filters also let you jump right into a part or feature so you can edit it. I need to change the diameter of these holes, so I'll set the filter to Feature and then double-click the hole. The part is activated and the dialog for the feature displays. Work geometry can be difficult because you can't select it if the component or part filter is active. If I use one of the other filters, the model geometry still highlights, but I can easily pick the work axis. I'm going to skip to the bottom group of filters before I look at the options in the middle. You use these filters to select a lot of components at once. For example, if you usually work with just a few components at a time and everything else gets in the way, you can use these filters to quickly select a group of components so you can change their visibility. The first filters are used with a particular component. Select All Occurrences will get every component that matches what you select. Fasteners have a lot of details, so it is nice to turn them off quickly. Constrain To gets every component that's attached to your selection, and Component Size selects everything larger or smaller. Most of these filters select components by size or visibility. For example, I'll select Sphere Offset and click on the model. Everything inside the sphere is selected. You can change the size of the sphere and include the components that are cut by it. External, Internal, and All in Camera have a slider to select components based on the percentage visible. Now that we've seen how the filters work, I'll go back to the options. Select Visible Only limits the selection to the components you can see. Enable Pre-Highlight is usually on, but sometimes people turn it off because it can be distracting to have parts flashing as you move the cursor. Invert Selection is useful when you want to turn off everything other than the current selection set. Previous Selection lets you go to the last selection. These filters are really handy, so Inventor has a special context menu. When you hold the Shift key and right-click, the selection filter list displays. Once you get the hang of these filters, you'll become a lot faster at modeling.